God, please don't. You're embarrassing both of us, she whispered when she saw the ring box. So I put it away forever. 6 months later, she's crying because I'm engaged to someone who actually wanted me. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. This all went down about a year ago, but it feels like yesterday sometimes. Or maybe like a lifetime ago, depending on the day. I'm sharing this because, well, maybe it'll help someone else spot the signs earlier than I did. Or maybe just because getting it out feels like closing the book for good. Anyway, buckle up, it's a doozy. My name's Alex, and at the time, I was 28, working as a marketing manager for a mid-sized firm in the city. Solid job, nothing flashy, but it paid the bills and let me save for the future. That future, as far as I was concerned, included Sarah. We'd been together for 4 years, met through mutual friends at a backyard barbecue. She was this vibrant, free-spirited yoga instructor, always talking about aligning energies and living in the moment. I loved that about her. It balanced out my more structured side. I wasn't the type to chase thrills, but I was loyal to a fault. I'd supported her through everything, helping her get certified as an instructor, covering rent when her classes were slow, even skipping a couple of work trips so I could be there for her self-discovery retreats. Flashback to one of those. I remember sitting in our cramped apartment, poring over budgets while she packed for a week-long yoga immersion in the mountains. "Babe, this is going to change everything for me," she'd said, eyes sparkling. I smiled, handed her my credit card for gas, and waved her off. That's who I was. The guy who made sure the foundation was solid so she could build her dreams. By year 4, things felt rock steady. We'd talked marriage, kids, the whole package. Not in some rushed way, but organically. "I can't wait to grow old with you," she'd whispered during late-night talks. So, I started planning the proposal. I wanted it perfect, something that captured us. Our favorite Italian spot downtown, the one with the dim lights, live jazz in the corner, and that tiramisu she raved about. I'd booked a corner table, coordinated with the staff to play her favorite song softly in the background. The ring? Simple but elegant, a solitaire diamond on a white gold band. I'd saved for months, even took on freelance gigs to afford it without dipping into our joint savings. I pictured her face lighting up, tears in her eyes, the yes that would seal it all. The night arrived. I was nervous, sure, but the good kind, the kind that buzzes with anticipation. Sarah looked stunning in a flowy sundress, her hair down like I loved. We ordered appetizers, chatted about her latest class. "This new guy Jake joined the advanced session," she mentioned casually. "He's got this incredible flow, total natural." I nodded, not thinking much of it. Yoga folks were always coming and going in her stories. Dinner progressed, wine flowed. As dessert came, I felt the moment build. Heart pounding, I reached into my pocket for the box. That's when it happened. Her eyes flicked down, caught the outline of the box under the tablecloth. And her face. God, her face. It wasn't joy or surprise. It was panic. Pure, unfiltered dread, like I'd pulled out a grenade instead of a ring. She grabbed my hand under the table, nails digging in a bit too hard, and leaned in close. Her whisper was sharp, laced with something like disgust. "God, please don't. You're embarrassing both of us. Everyone here can see this isn't. We're not that." I froze. The jazz notes blurred into noise. The box felt like lead in my palm. "What?" I managed, keeping my voice low, though my mind was reeling. She glanced around, like we were in a spotlight, then hissed under her breath. "Alex, just put it away. This isn't the time. Or maybe ever. I thought you knew things were off." Off. My brain scrambled to catch up. We'd had a minor argument a week back about schedules, her staying late at the studio more often, but nothing that screamed off. I slid the box back into my pocket, the velvet burning against my thigh. The waiter brought the tiramisu. We ate in silence, her forcing smiles at passers-by. I paid the bill, we left. The drive home was tense, radio filling the void. Back at the apartment, I couldn't hold it in. I set the keys down, turned to her. "Sarah, what the hell was that? We've talked about this. About us." She sighed, dropping her purse on the couch, avoiding my eyes. "I know, but things change, Alex. I've been feeling trapped lately. Like, you're great, but you're so predictable. Safe. I need more flow in my life, you know." "Flow," I echoed, confusion mixing with a sinking gut. "Yeah," she said, finally meeting my gaze, but it was detached, almost pitying. Jake, from yoga? We've been exploring things. Nothing physical yet, but emotionally? He's on my wavelength. He gets the spiritual side, the adventure. You're more about plans and stability. It's sweet, but it's not exciting me anymore. Exploring things. The words hit like a slap, but I didn't flinch. Not outwardly. Inside, flashbacks raced. Me picking her up from late classes, cooking dinner so she could unwind, listening to her vent about difficult students. All while she was exploring with Jake. How long? I asked, voice steady. A couple months, she admitted, shrugging like it was casual. I didn't plan it. It just happened during sessions. We'd talk after, grab coffee. He's divorced, free-spirited. Makes me feel alive. And me? What about us? I pressed, but calmly. No yelling, no pleading. She crossed her arms, a smug edge creeping in. Us was good for a while. But honestly, proposing? That would have locked me in. I'm not ready for that. You're embarrassing yourself thinking I was. There it was again, embarrassing. Like my love was some joke. I nodded once, processing. No tears from me, no outburst. Just a quiet acceptance settling in. Okay, we're done then. She blinked, surprised maybe that I didn't fight. Just like that. Yeah, I said. Just like that. That night, I didn't sleep much. Sarah crashed on the couch, saying she'd figure out her stuff in the morning. Me? I stared at the ceiling, the ring box on the nightstand mocking me. Confusion swirled. How had I missed this? But I didn't beg her to explain more, didn't text friends for advice. I just lay there, letting the unfairness sink in. It felt like I'd built a house on sand, and now it was crumbling. But begging? No. That wasn't me. Morning came. She was up early, packing a bag. I made coffee, handed her a mug without a word. She took it, hesitated. Alex, we should talk more. This doesn't have to be messy. I leaned against the counter, sipping mine. What's there to say? You made it clear last night. She set the mug down, frustration flickering. Come on, don't be like this. I'm not the villain here. People grow apart. Jake, he challenges me. You were always so content with routine, work, home, repeat. I need passion, spontaneity. Passion, I repeated flatly, like sneaking around behind my back. It wasn't sneaking, she snapped, defensive now. We were just talking at first. Flirting, maybe. But you never noticed because you're always buried in spreadsheets. I tried hinting. Remember when I said I felt stagnant? You just suggested a vacation. I remembered. I'd booked tickets for a weekend getaway, thinking it would recharge us. She'd canceled last minute for a yoga workshop. Hindsight stung. So this is my fault. For being reliable? She rolled her eyes, that smug dismissiveness back. See? That's your twisted logic. It's not about fault. It's about compatibility. Jake gets my energy. He's not afraid to live without a safety net. You proposing was like forcing a square peg into a round hole. Embarrassing for both of us, really. Echoing her restaurant line. It cut, but I stayed composed. If that's how you see it, fine. Take what you need. I'll handle the lease. You're seriously not going to fight for this? She asked, almost incredulous, like she expected drama. Why would I? I replied evenly. You chose. I'm respecting that. She huffed, grabbing more clothes. Whatever. You'll regret letting me go so easily. Guys like Jake don't come around often. I didn't respond. Just watched her stuff the bag, call an Uber. As she left, she paused at the door. We can still be friends, right? Once things settle. I shook my head. No. Clean break. Her face twisted. Maybe surprise, maybe annoyance. Fine. Your loss. Door slammed. The apartment echoed empty. I sat on the couch, the silence heavy. No immediate rebound plans. No vengeful posts online. Just me, processing. I called work, took a personal day. Walked to the park, sat on a bench, replayed it all. The confusion hit hardest. How could 4 years end over some yoga flirt? It felt undeserved, like I'd been a placeholder. But I didn't rage. Instead, I returned the ring that afternoon. Got most of the money back, deposited it into savings. Changed the locks that evening. Practical, not petty. Then, I blocked her number, unfollowed on socials. Detached. Disappeared from her world. The next day's blurred. Friends reached out after she must have spun her story. Texts like, heard about you, and Sarah, man. You okay? I kept replies short. Yeah, moving on. No details. Inside, vulnerability crept in. Nights were rough. Flashback to her head on my shoulder during movie nights, whispering, "You're my rock." Now, that rock was discarded. Unfairness gnawed. I'd sacrificed weekends for her gigs, emotional energy for her doubts. And for what? To be called embarrassing? But I didn't dwell publicly. Started small changes. Gym routine. Reading books on mindfulness. Ironic, given the yoga angle. The silence let me sit with it all. No rush to win the breakup. Weeks turned to months. I didn't chase distractions right away. No wild nights out. No apps swiping for rebounds. Instead, I leaned into the quiet. Work became my anchor. I threw myself into projects, even pitched a new campaign that got me a raise. Focus on what you can control, I told myself. But the emotional middle? That breathed slow. Confusion lingered like fog. Mornings I'd wake expecting her text, then remember. Evenings, the apartment felt too big. Flashback. One hit hard during a solo dinner. Remembering how I'd quit my softball league to free up time for her classes. "Go without me," she'd say. "I need you here." So I did. Now, alone with pasta, it felt like wasted investment. I journaled some, not dramatically, just facts. What went wrong? My internal voice shifted gradual, from "why me?" vulnerable whispers to clearer "what now?" I reconnected with old friends, ones I'd neglected for couple stuff. A buddy dragged me to a trivia night. I laughed for real after weeks. Started hiking on weekends. Fresh air cleared the head. No yoga for me, though too raw. Dating? Not yet. I needed space. But about 3 months post-breakup, a colleague introduced me to Emily at a work happy hour. She was in graphic design, sharp wit, warm smile. We talked art, travel, easy, no pressure. Coffee turned to dinners. She excited me without the chaos, appreciated my stability, called it grounding. "You're thoughtful," she'd say. "Not everyone is." It felt genuine, not like I was filling a void. Meanwhile, I kept tabs minimal, but mutuals mentioned Sarah vaguely. "She's with that Jake guy now." Fine by me. I focused inward. Therapy sessions helped unpack the betrayal. "You gave a lot," the counselor said. "Time to give to yourself." I did. Enrolled in a photography class, something I'd always wanted. Snapped cityscapes at dawn, found peace in the lens. The unfairness faded, clarity grew. I wasn't broken. I'd been mistreated, but that didn't define me. By month 5, Emily and I were solid. She met my family. They loved her. "She's good for you," Mom said. We traveled. A short road trip, nothing extravagant. Her enthusiasm? Infectious. "This is amazing," she'd exclaim at overlooks. Contrast to Sarah's constant "more." My internal voice. "Calm now, free. This is what mutual feels like." Then, the proposal idea sparked. Not rushed, organic like us. I planned simple. A picnic at the park where we first kissed. Ring? Thoughtful, emerald cut, her style. No panic this time, just certainty. That's when karma started creeping in, at least from what filtered through mutual channels. I wasn't stalking her. I made a point to stay off social media for my own sanity. But the city isn't that big, and word travels. About 4 months after the split, a friend from our old circle texted, "Dude, Sarah's thing with Jake imploded. Thought you should know." I didn't pry, but bits came unsolicited. Turns out, Jake was a classic serial dater. Charming on the surface, but zero commitment. He'd swept Sarah off her feet with talk of twin flames and spontaneous road trips, but it was all smoke. After a couple months of playing house, he ghosted her for a new student in his class. Left her high and dry, no explanation, just a vague text about needing space for his journey. She tried confronting him at the studio, but he played it cool, saying it was never serious. "We were just flowing," he apparently told her, echoing her own excuses to me. The unraveling hit her hard. She posted a cryptic story online, something about lessons in impermanence, but it backfired when mutuals connected the dots. Friends who'd cheered her glow up started distancing. One even messaged me privately. "She's not handling it well. Keeps calling it a growth experience, but she's spiraling." Her yoga classes thinned out. Rumors of her showing up distracted, canceling sessions. Financially, she'd quit her side gig to focus on us with Jake, so now she was scrambling, crashing with a friend. The public breakdown came at a local wellness fair she'd always attended. Witnesses said she cornered Jake in front of booths, voice rising. You used me. He shrugged it off, walked away. She broke down crying right there, mascara running, while vendors stared. Photos circulated in group chats, not malicious, but the kind that expose raw messiness. I heard all this secondhand, over coffee with that same buddy. She's a wreck, man. Posting sad quotes daily. I nodded, but felt nothing. Not schadenfreude, not pity. Just detachment. It was ironic, sure. Her chasing excitement led straight to instability. But I didn't gloat. My life was building momentum. Hers was stalling. By then, Emily and I were talking future, subtly, but real. Seeing Sarah's downfall, it confirmed I'd dodged a bullet. No more confusion. The unfairness felt balanced in a cosmic way. The attempt started subtle, around month 5. First, a text from an unknown number. Hers, probably a burner or borrowed. Hey, it's Sarah. Can we talk? Miss our chats. I stared at it, thumb hovering. Deleted without reply. A week later, another. Alex, please. I messed up. Jake was a mistake. Let's meet for coffee. Ignored. Calls followed. Voicemail. I know you're hurt, but hear me out. I was confused, searching for something. You were always so steady. I see that now. Her voice cracked a bit, apologetic tone. Still, no response from me. Escalation came quick. She showed up at my office building one afternoon, waiting in the lobby. Reception buzzed me. I said send her away. But she texted right after. Why are you being so cold? We had 4 years. At least give me closure. I blocked the number. Then, the proxies, her friends and family, toxic as ever. First, her bestie Mia called. Alex, you're acting childish. Sarah's going through hell. Jake screwed her over. Be the bigger person and talk. I kept it short. Not interested. Goodbye. Click. Her sister was worse. Unpleasant, accusatory voicemail. You think you're better now? Sarah told me everything. You drove her away with your boring routine. Now she's suffering, and you won't even pick up? Pathetic. Deleted. Even her mom emailed, guilting. Family sticks together, Alex. She regrets it. Come to dinner, hash it out. I replied once, polite but firm. Respectfully, no? Please stop contacting me. The desperation peaked. Late-night texts from yet another number. I see your post with that girl. Emily? Already? How could you move on so fast? I thought we meant more. Jealousy seeped in. Then anger. Fine, ignore me. You're just proving I was right. You're heartless under that nice guy act. Voicemails turned ranting. You embarrassed me by proposing, but now you're the one flaunting a new life? Hypocrite. It revealed her true colors, smug dismissal flipping to bitter entitlement. Her family piled on. Dad called, gruff. Man up and forgive her. She's family. I hung up mid-sentence. Through it all, I stayed detached. No sympathy, no engagement. Their toxicity just reinforced my peace. Emily knew the basics. We laughed it off over wine. Block and delete, she advised. I did. The attempts highlighted the power shift. She discarded me, now clawing back. But I was done. The finale unfolded at our engagement party. Emily's idea, a casual backyard bash at a mutual friend's place. We'd kept it low-key, string lights, barbecue, close circle. I'd proposed 2 weeks prior at that park picnic. Her yes was enthusiastic, tears of joy, no panic. Yes, 1,000 times, she'd said, hugging me tight. Contrast hit different. Invites went out. Somehow, Sarah heard. Maybe a stray mutual or social sleuthing. She crashed uninvited, slipping in through the side gate mid-evening. I spotted her first, disheveled hair, forced smile, clutching a wine glass like a shield. Guests mingled, music played soft. She beelined for me as Emily chatted nearby. Alex, Sarah started, voice shaky but urgent. We need to talk. Now. I turned, calm as ever. Sarah, this isn't the place. Please, she pressed, eyes darting. I saw the announcement online. Engaged? Already? After everything. I was wrong. Jake was nothing. You were the one. Give me another chance. I'll change. Emily noticed, approached innocently. Oh, are you a friend? She asked, genuine curiosity. Sarah's face twisted, jealousy flashing. I met her gaze, mirroring her old logic coolly. Just someone who taught me exactly what I didn't want. Remember, Sarah? We're not that. Turns out, I am, with someone who wants it. She flinched, hypocrisy exposed. That's not fair. You embarrassed us both with that proposal. Now you're rubbing this in. No, I said firmly, no trace of care for her feelings. I'm living my life. You're the one showing up, making a scene. Embarrassing yourself now. Guests shifted uncomfortably. A few whispered. Sarah's eyes welled. But I love you. Please, don't do this. I shook my head, focused on my growth. Sarah, you're irrelevant here. I've built something real, career thriving, peace intact, happiness with Emily. You chose your path. This is mine. Goodbye. She stood frozen, then stormed out, sobbing audibly. The party resumed. Emily squeezed my hand. You okay? I nodded, truly was. Sarah was powerless, a faded echo. Later, I blocked the last stragglers. Life moved on. Wedding plans, shared dreams. She's a lesson, nothing more. Complete. Thanks for watching.